I started out with a piece of maple. It's about 4.5 by 5, and I put it in between centers. So I'm going to get it trued up with a spindle gouge, and the lathe's running about 500 or 600. And then we'll put a tenon down on one end of it. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the chuck now so we can grab a hold of it and start shaping it. Help support the companies that support our community. So this one's going to be kind of tall, so I'm going to put a weight in the bottom of it. And so this is a coffee tamper that I'm actually going to put in the bottom of it. I'm going to put a threaded insert and everything. I had one that was scratched up, so we're just going to use it as a weight for the bottom. So I'm going to kind of make this look like kind of like a candlestick, I guess. So I'm just making a recess in the bottom, starting out with the parting tool and bringing that in at a little bit of an angle so that I can grab it with the chuck here in a minute, and then using the Easy Wood rougher to clean out the rest of it. So I want that coffee tamper recessed inside of it, so I went in there quite a ways and then used the #1 hollower to clean up the rim. Now we're using a 7/16 drill bit, so I drilled down in there. We're going to mix up a little bit of epoxy for that and just put it around the outside of the threaded insert. And then, so this is the same way you do bottle openers, bottle stoppers, regular coffee tampers, all of it. So I just pressed it in with the live center, and then I actually put the live center in and pressed it the rest of the way in. So I cranked the lathe speed up. It's running about 2,500 RPMs now, and I'm going to go ahead and start shaping this with a spindle gouge. So once I get this in the chuck, I'm not going to be able to really sand around that rim. So I want to get a little bit of it done and sand that bottom portion before I flip it around. So I'm just getting the material off of here. Like I said, it's going to kind of look like a candlestick at this point. So most of this material here was actually pretty punky, but I knew I was bringing all this down in the center of it, so it really didn't matter. And it was, you could see the tear out right there where it's just, I can stick my thumbnail into that. It's pretty bad, but it's all going away, so not a big deal. So what I want to do is put a little cup on the top of it too. So this one's going to be a little bit smaller, but I'm just using the #1 hollower to cup it out. After we get all that set, then we will start shaping shaping the sides of it. So before I start shaping it, I need to drill a hole down in it for the dowel. So grab the drill bit, same size as the dowel. We're going to drill down in it just a little ways. I maybe went 1/2 inch at the very most. Just need a little bit to glue it in. And then we will get this all shaped, sanded, and oiled. So, and like I said, the wood's spalted. It's so it's not a really hard piece of wood. So again, I'm just using the spindle gouge, trying to get it as clean as possible. Once we have that done, just start running through the grits. I ran through a couple of grits and then started putting the oil on. So this is Doctor's walnut oil. I just sand with it. It eliminates all that fine sanding dust and really brings out the beauty in the wood. So when I turn the lathe off here in a sec, you'll be able to see just all that spalting that's in there. It's just fantastic. So as far as the cup goes, I didn't want any oil inside of there just in case it bled through onto the felt. So I was really careful about that. Then we're going to make the little finial for the top. So I just grabbed another piece of the same wood. I'm going to cup this side out, and this is going to go on the top of the ball. So I just made it a little bit smaller than the base. Cupped it out a little bit, and then we'll do the same thing here. I will drill down in it with that same drill bit to take the dowel that's gonna go into it, and you'll see that at the end here. And again, I'm just using the spindle gouge, bringing all this material down, and then once I get that down, I'll start shaping it a little bit. So I'm going to part it off. Well, I'm going to drop it and then part it off and drop it. And then I grabbed just a waste block. So I'm just going to turn this down, turn a little tenon down on it, and use it as a jam chuck to go into that hole I drilled. And then we can finish off the top of it. Once I got that done, again, ran through a couple of grits dry and then switched over to the oil. I was careful not to get any around the lip there, so I didn't get on the felt. So the felt ball, our oldest daughter, she's staying with us. She had surgery, so she's recovering here. So she does felting, and we asked her if she could do it. So she actually did the ball around a dowel I gave her, which made it much easier to do this. I just cut the dowel off after she was done, and we're just going to go ahead and glue the dowel straight into it, just like so. And then we'll put a little bit. I just put a little bit of glue on the parts, not the dowel, so I didn't want to get it on the felt. And put it on there, and it is all done. There we go. It's all done. The glue's dry. Little pin cushion. So I did a pin cushion, I don't know, a year or so ago, maybe two, and everybody seemed to like it. So I know there's a lot of sewers out there. So the felt, Sarah did a fantastic job on it. It kind of reminds me of Starry Night. It's really cool. So she hand did all of that. If you want to do something like this, like a pin cushion out of felt, you can go find them anywhere, any size you want. There's a bunch of them on Amazon I found. As far as this one, I wanted to do a little bit taller one, so I decided to put a weight in it. So this is just coffee tamper. I know this is probably not not what they were designed for, but it screws right into the bottom of it, and that way you know, when you're pushing the pins in, it's not gonna rock around or anything. But if you wanted to do even like a smaller one where it was just kind of the base and then put the ball right into the base, take a dowel. If you do buy the felt ball, take a dowel, sharpen it, and you can push it straight in right into the thing. I took a skewer and tried it, so it actually works. So I even took one of the felt balls. We have like them in the dryer. I think there's like 5 of them in our dryer, and even they're kind of wound a little bit tighter, but the pins go right in, so you can use any of them. But yeah, I kind of just looked it up. There's tons of different colors. I mean, it's just anything you want, or if you know somebody that does felting, you can have them make you a custom one. But super fun project. And yeah, the wood was a little punky and in some spots, and you can kind of see like right there where it was really coming through. But it's solid wood, but it still has the coloring, and there's some nice real color in it. And again, it's out of maple, 4 inches in diameter at the base and 9 inches tall. But yeah, that weight really actually helps as far as, you know, pushing the pins in. This one, it's probably not wound quite as tight as one you would buy, because they're probably done with the machine, but I grabbed one out of the dryer too, and the pins go right into it. Just a little bit stiffer, but they still go right in, so I wouldn't worry about buying them and using them for a pin cushion. But super fun project. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care, and we will see you next time.